So Ohtani looking to finish things off for Samurai Japan, again up 3-1 in this series. These two teams will meet again after a travel day at the Okinawa Cellular Stadium in a couple of days. One last game after this, but this of course still part of the Japan All-Stars series. As you see, the 2.61 ERA and 155 and a third innings pitched for Shohei Ohtani. Decided not to go straight to the major leagues, even though he did put a little bit of thought into it right out of high school, where he was throwing regularly 100 miles an hour. Sounds as though there may be some sort of a handshake deal whenever he wants to get posted to go to the big leagues, that they're going to let him in Panem Fighters. Jose Altuve leads things off and takes inside for ball one. Jerry Lane is behind the plate as the umpire. Kunio Kyuchi is the first base umpire. Mike Winters is at second. Norihiro Akamura is the third base umpire. And the 1-0 pitch to Altuve. Shoots one into right field. And cut off before it gets to the corner by Itoe. Nice job to keep Altuve at first base.
And that's what you got to do right there. Jose Altuve showing you why he led all of baseball with 225 hits. Won himself an American League batting title. Taking a high 90s mile an hour fastball and just shooting it to right field.
Yasiel Puig will be next. Again, 3 for 11 in this series with a couple of doubles, a couple of runs scored as well. Had 2 doubles and a single, a 3-hit ball game in game 4 after he was drawing his walks but struggling to get some hits. But again, with the injury to Robinson Cano, the structure of the lineup for John Farrell has changed a bit. Also moved him up to maybe get him some more fastballs, and he figures to see 1, 2, or 50 fastballs from Ohtani today.
Well, listening to Hiroki Kikubo, the manager, talk from Team Samurai Japan, he's going to have to mix in pitches. You can't just go out there and think you're going to feast. I don't care how hard you throw. Major League Baseball, one thing these guys know how to hit is a heater, and if it's straight as a string, he'll get hurt. So look for him to mix in an arsenal of a good slider, good tight slider in the low to mid 80s, a curveball, a changeup, and a split.
And that good fastball might actually be just what the doctor ordered for this Major League All-Star lineup. Ohtani deals to Puig. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. And I say that because we've talked about it a lot, as these guys, most of them have had to shut it down after the regular season or early exit from the playoffs. In Puig in the Dodgers case, maybe the best thing is just those fastballs, as opposed to getting the timing on a breaking ball, seeing different breaking balls, sliders, curveballs, whatever the case may be. Maybe the fastball is the best thing to just get your timing back, see it, and hit.
Absolutely, and one guy who can absolutely hammer a fastball is Yasiel Puig here in game 4. Throwing out a couple bullets to left field, made another diving catch, getting a curveball up in the zone and shooting it past Matsuda at third base for 3 knocks.
Jose Altuve off of first, led things off with a base hit to right field.
And I'll say one thing for Shohei Ohtani. 20 years old, facing this lineup, even though he has that mid-90s to 3-digit fastball, there's got to be some nerves on the mound tonight for him. Not right there, though. Just some dead red gas right by Yasiel Puig for out number 1.
And you got to like the location, too, because if it's that pitch, maybe middle away, you're able to do something with it the way Altuve kind of fought it off. But up and in, it's tough to get around on.
Yeah, classic 4-seam grip right there from Shohei Ohtani.
Justin Morneau takes upstairs for ball 1. Morneau 3 for 16 in this series with a couple of home runs, but 6 RBIs. Had 4 of those in game 4 when he also connected on a big 3-run home run to really settle down this team a little bit. Team that had struggled to score runs, get leads. He had an RBI double in the first inning as well to bring home Yasiel Puig. But quickly Samurai Japan tied it up. And that 3-run home run later in the ball game again really helped to settle down this bunch, because they were, I don't want to say a lifeless offense, because I think that kind of takes away from the pitching for Samurai Japan. They check.
I think you could say that, ball lifeless. They were reeling. Anytime you get no hit, I don't care what level of baseball it is. You go over there to put your best foot forward, you're supposed to be some of the best players Major League Baseball has to offer. And a combined no-hitter's thrown your way. It's time to regroup. John Farrell shook the lineup up, got great production at the top of the order.
And again, Morneau goes down swinging. And there are 2 away here in the first.
And that's what Shohei Ohtani's able to do. Right there you see good split finger, diving down in the zone to Justin Morneau. When you throw triple-digit type fastball, being in the box against guys who have thrown that hard in the past, you cannot come off that pitch. You have to respect and honor that pitch every time Ohtani goes into the windup. So anything off speed that he can throw for a strike or bury in the dirt late in the count is almost unhittable.
Morneau strikes out for the 3rd time in this series, 2nd of the inning for Ohtani. And Altuve moved up to second base with the ball in the dirt. So Evan Longoria steps in, runner in scoring position, and taps the first one foul. And for Longoria, 4 for 12 in the series with 2 runs scored and a home run. Also added a grand slam in the game, the exhibition game before this All-Star series began against the split team of the Hanshin Tigers and Yomiuri Giants. And here comes the 0-1. Swings right through that one. That's high 90s.
That's some gas right there, Paul. And I know Evan Longoria is having a great time over in Japan, but if anyone's looking forward to the flight home, it's this guy right here. Get a chance. Just had a baby boy, Nash. Him and his wife, Jamie.
This is going to be impressive tonight. Ohtani gives up a leadoff single, but then strikes out the next 3 batters. We'll see Samurai Japan after the break.
Yeah, we'd be remiss if we didn't run this back. Evan Longoria playing in the Sapporo Dome for the first time in his career, not knowing his surroundings, a lot of ground to cover, kind of like O.com Stadium out in Oakland, O.Coat Stadium. Just what a phenomenal play to end the bottom of the 1st inning.
Couple of slick defensive plays. Justin Morneau, ball got on him quick on this turf. Kind of deflected it up in the air, caught it with the bare hand, flipped to Shoemaker for out number 1, and then Evan Longoria's nice play going into foul ground on the basket catch for out number 3. Also impressive was the 1st inning for Shohei Ohtani, as he gave up the leadoff base hit to Jose Altuve and then struck out Yasiel Puig, Justin Morneau, and Evan Longoria, all swinging. And I think it's fair to say, at least in the 1st round against Ohtani, of what could be a heavyweight matchup here, they didn't stand a chance.
No, the ability to throw a fastball right by Evan Longoria, 2 of them, pretty special. Living in the high 90s right now.
Last one at 97 miles an hour. Was living at 97, 98 in the 1st inning. And now the 2-1 to Carlos Santana. Fouls it off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Santana the DH tonight. 1 for 9 in the series with 4 strikeouts.
And starting in game 1, you go back to a guy like Kenta Maeda, who I think if posted and comes over to Major League Baseball, in my opinion, watching him throw kind of slots in more into that 3-4 guy in the rotation. But you're looking at Ohtani, a 20-year-old with great mechanics and electric stuff. This could be potentially a frontline starter down the stretch.
Fujinami got the start in game 4. Was really the only starting pitcher for Samurai Japan that struggled in this series. Norimoto with the 5 perfect innings to start that combined no-hitter in game 3. The payoff pitch to Santana misses outside. And that's the first walk of the night for Shohei Ohtani. Missed outside at 98 miles an hour.
And you look at Shohei Ohtani right here. Ends up walking Carlos Santana. But he's got to be thinking about $155 million that was pushed Masahiro Tanaka's way.
That one on the ground to second base, bobbled by Kikuchi. They get one, and with Sal Perez and that speed of a catcher, they're able to double him up, 2 away.
And kind of earlier getting back to that handshake agreement with the Nippon Ham Fighters when he wants to be posted. It's kind of up to him. You look at the stuff, 1,000, more than 1,000 less innings pitched on this arm than Tanaka. This is impressive.
Kikuchi, knowing as a Gold Glover they had plenty of time at second base, gave a good flip after the bobble, and it looked like Genji even had a pick over at first base to double up Perez, who is now 0 for 10 in this series. Ben Zobrist steps in.
Oh, and he can add in a little bit of an Ephus curveball.
I was going to say, do you like the curveball too? Man. And again, he only pitched 1 inning in game 1. Back-to-back curveballs and in there for a called strike. So he didn't really open up the repertoire too much in game 1. But he did say, and I was surprised, he did say he wasn't overly impressed with his outing. 7 strikes, 12 pitches. Zobrist fights it off. Seems like he's got high expectations of himself.
Classic windup right here. Drop and drive. Big tall frame. Getting out there, staying over the top of all his pitches. Showing off a nasty curveball 3 out of the first 4 pitches to Ben Zobrist.
Good look there at Kenta Maeda in the foreground on the right. Pitched a really good game 1. Making sure everybody's got a good seat for Ohtani here in game 5. That one misses low. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's a good take right there by Ben Zobrist. Good split finger with 2 strikes down in the dirt.
The 1-2 pitch to Ben Zobrist. Just misses. At 97.
Rephrase that, Paul. Just misses?
Just misses.
Ball's right down the middle.
Ohtani probably wanted that one. Maybe it was coming so fast Jerry Lane didn't see it. I don't know. .26 pitches to this point in the second inning. Again, there are those pitch limits. Can't throw more than 80 unless you're trying to finish off a batter. So again, this is my pessimistic game plan of just let him throw a lot and get him out of the game. Get him out of the run the pitch count up and get him out. Be a 2-2 pitch to Ben Zobrist. Swings and misses for strike 3. 4th strikeout through the first 2 innings for Shohei Ohtani. An impressive K of Ben Zobrist, but he also got himself some slick defense behind him as well, as Kikuchi at second base bobbled it, but knew that he had plenty of time to turn the 4-6-3 double play through an inning and a half for scoreless. There are short lists, and then there are short lists. 10 wins and 10 homers in a single season in professional baseball history. Shohei Ohtani and Babe Ruth. That's it. 11 wins, 10 home runs for Ohtani.
When you're on a graphic solo with Babe Ruth,
that is impressive.
You're pretty special.
And he has been impressive through the first 7 batters. 4 strikeouts as Lucas Duda leads off and takes upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Puig, Morneau, Longoria. got a double play in the second and then finished off Ben Zobrist to end the inning. And now 8-9-1 due up for the Major League All-Stars here in the third, as Duda now ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes.
What a year by Lucas Duda. 30 homers, 92 ribbies. The New York Mets go out and sign Michael Kadire to a 2-year, $21 million deal to lengthen that lineup.
Line drive towards center field, and that will get down and get to the wall. Yanagita fires in, but a leadoff double for Lucas Duda here in the top of the third.
Great piece of hitting right there. 2-0 count. Knows he's getting a fastball. Doesn't try and do too much. Lets Ohtani generate the power, stays down and through the baseball, and shoots it into left center for a double.
Those 30 home runs were third best in the National League. Those 92 RBIs tied for 5th in the NL.
Sets up Alcides Escobar right here, who has the ability to manipulate the bat through the zone and move runners. Look for him to try and push something to the right side, if not bunt. I don't think he flew all this way to bunt, but you never know.
No, he might have flown all this way to find a spot in right field for a base hit. First and third, nobody away.
Just a great piece of hitting right there, knowing his role, trying to move Lucas Duda over to third. Stays on a slider, down and away. Nice piece of hitting by Escobar right there.
And that was his first hit of the series. Was 0 for 9 with a couple of strikeouts prior to that. Got game 4 off, obviously, with the Kansas City Royals. All year long, Escobar played a ton of baseball, but never really, despite the fact that the Royals made a lengthy journey through the playoffs and through October, never backed off his commitment to come on this trip. So give Alcides Escobar some credit. Give all these guys credit too, because after a grind of a season, to slow it down, I don't know about shut it down, but at least slow it down, and then come back here and face what has really been impressive competition in Samurai Japan. That's up and in on Altuve, gets by Shima, and Duda will come in to score the game's first run. And all the way to third goes Escobar. Heads up base running for Escobar, who takes 2 extra bases on the wild pitch.
Great hustle by Escobar right there. A lot of foul ground in Sapporo Dome. See right here, arm side miss from Ohtani, up and in. Scary pitch to Jose Altuve right there. Gets by Shima all the way to the backstop. Escobar hustling off first base, ends up at third with nobody out.
Yeah, scary is right. The last thing you want is injuries. And unfortunately for the Major League All-Stars, they've already sustained one of those, and to a second baseman. It's Robinson Cano, a non-displaced fracture in his right pinky toe, was hit by a pitch in that combined no-hitter in game 3. Done for the next 3 to 4 weeks. And now a 2-0 pitch to Jose Altuve with Escobar on third, in there for a called strike.
Yeah, tough break for Robinson Cano. Already back in the States. Gonna have to rehab or rest for 3 to 4 weeks before he can start his off-season workouts and prepare for the 2015 campaign with the Seattle Mariners.
When you say drop and drive, very evident on that delivery. 3 balls and 1 strike to Altuve. Let's go back. The injury to Robinson Cano in game 3. Hit by a pitch by Nishi.
And this is a guy that's always on the field. Over the last 8 years, he's averaged 157 games, Robinson Cano. A stalwart in the lineup for the Yankees. Their best player the last 3 or 4 years he was there, and obviously Seattle's best player last season.
A high chopper to Sakamoto at short. And an RBI ground out for Jose Altuve, a 2-0 lead for the Major League All-Stars.
Way to battle right there by Jose Altuve. Tough pitch, split down. Just battles, puts ball in play. High chopper, able to get Escobar, who was going on contact. Look at that right there. Altuve stays with it. Especially using his turf to his advantage to steal a ribby.
Yasiel Puig, first pitch swinging a line drive, base hit into left field. Well, they've made more solid contact in these first 2+ innings than I thought they'd make after that first inning, when it was base hit and then strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. But they seem to be on Ohtani a little more here in the third. Puig's 4th hit of the series. He leads off first base with 1 away here in the top of the third, and that'll bring up Justin Morneau.
Can't talk enough about Justin Morneau's season. What a sign by the Colorado Rockies. 2 years, $12 million deal. Coming off playing in Pittsburgh, 2013 season. All he did for the Colorado Rockies is follow Michael Kadire in the long lineage of Colorado Rockies who have won National League batting titles.
He's been a big part of the offense for the major leaguers as he fouls that one right off the mask of Shima. And to your point, back-to-back batting titles for the Colorado Rockies with Kadire and Morneau. A few years after Carlos Gonzalez did it, a few years after Matt Holliday did it, and then a long run, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 4 straight batting titles for the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, safe to say if you want to win a batting title, good chance you could do it in Coors Field. Larry Walker has 3 to his ungodly resume. Year in which he hit .379 to win the National League batting title, hit .462 at home, .282 on the road.
That's good, right?
Yeah,
that's good. Okay, just checking.
.282 on the road is good. Never mind the .460.
But the thing with the Colorado Rockies has never been their offense. It's always been the pitching. And whether or not they can put together a rotation and an entire staff that can battle through an entire year. They've dealt with their injuries along the way as well, but well, neither pitcher's getting the low part of the strike zone, as that one didn't miss by much at 94 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't know where that pitch is right there. Jerry Lane must be seeing that ball down. That's knee high, middle of the plate.
The payoff pitch to Morneau in the dirt, blocked nicely by Shima. But it'll be runners on first and second, 1 away here in the top of the third. Second walk of the night for Ohtani.
Great pick by Shima right here. Split finger, hard split finger down in the dirt.
That was a good look there. I mean, look, we know it's 60 feet 6 inches from the rubber to home plate, but with his height and length, he shortens that span quite a bit with the stride.
Yes, he does. Running into a little bit of trouble right here with command issues. Just some great ABs by the MLB All-Stars, and Evan Longoria looking to put a big crooked number on the board for the MLB team.
Struck out on 3 pitches in the first inning, and now down to the count. No balls and 1 strike here in the third. Inside, 1-1.
That'll wake you up.
This will be the 20th pitch of the inning for Ohtani.
Throws you 95 miles an hour, arm side run in on your hands, and then throws a front door curveball. Can't help but buckle the knees a little bit.
The 1-2 pitch to Longoria, that got him. John Farrell out quickly to check on Longoria. Well, he came up and in on Altuve. Came up and in earlier in this at bat to Longoria, and right there got him right on the forearm or wrist.
Yeah, that's not what you like to see. And again, goes back to Ohtani, only 20 years old. Stuff's electric, but getting a chance to face this lineup for the first time in his life, there has to be some nerves. Maybe trying to overthrow a little bit, losing his mechanics for a second.
So Carlos Santana, who walked back in the second inning, will step in with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the top of the third. A chance for the Major League All-Stars to really blow this thing open. Yasiel Puig at third, Justin Morneau at second, and Evan Longoria at first. And if you're using this game as a scouting report, this is a good spot here to really see what this guy's got in terms of the guts when he doesn't have his best stuff, at least control-wise. Figure out how he is able to get out of jams like this.
One thing that helps is having the ability to have a 12-6 curveball in the bag. Going up against Carlos Santana, a guy who absolutely feasts on MLB pitchers with the bases loaded.
This will be the 24th pitch of the inning for Ohtani. Keep in mind, it's again an 80-pitch limit for the pitchers in this Japan All-Star Series.
Santana, career .417 hitter with the bases loaded, battling 0-2 right now.
Misses low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. With Sal Perez on deck. Major League All-Stars lost the first 3 games of this series. So Samurai Japan securing a series victory with those 3 W's. In there for a called strike 3 to Carlos Santana, who thought that might have been a little in. Instead, there are 2 away.
Great pitch by Ohtani right here. Good 4-seam fastball, inner half. Just painted right there. Carlos might have thought that ball was a little bit inside. But that pitch caught a lot of the plate.
96 miles an hour on the inside corner. 2 away now for Sal Perez with the bases loaded in the top of the third. And that's in there for a called strike. Perez grounded into that 4-6-3 double play back in the second inning. Puig, Morneau, and Longoria, your base runners. Longoria looks like he's trying to keep that wrist loose, where he got hit by the pitch by Ohtani. The 0-1.
I know he's down 2-0, and he's in a bases loaded jam right here. You can't not love what you're seeing out of Ohtani. The arsenal he presents, 20 years old.
And that's the thing, back against the wall. How does he respond with 2 runs in and the bases loaded?
Talk about young pitchers who broke into the major leagues, kind of guys like Steven Strasburg at a young age with big time stuff.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Ohtani able to work out of further damage after Lucas Duda started it off with a double, came around to score on a wild pitch. And then they scored another on a ground ball from Jose Altuve, 2-0. Welcome back. Paul Severino, Mark DeRosa with you. Just to keep in mind the pitch limitations for this All-Star Series. The pitchers have an 80 pitch limit. You can finish off a batter if you're still out there for pitch number 80 and above. You can't pitch more than 2 consecutive days, which at this point in the series won't come into play with a travel day before the final exhibition game in a couple of days. If a pitcher throws 30 or more, he's got to rest a day. 50 or more, has to rest 4 days. So something to keep an eye on as Shohei Ohtani is approaching 60 pitches to this point. Really had to work hard in the 3rd inning. Surrendered 2 runs, left the bases loaded, and it was a double, a single, and then a wild pitch, scored a run, and moved Escobar to 3rd. A ground out, scored a run, and then another single, a couple of walks. First pitch swinging for Ben Zobrist. Kikuchi to 1st, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, his ability to work out of a 30 pitch jam right there, striking out Santana and Perez back to back with the bases loaded to get out of the 3rd inning, kind of keep this Major League Baseball All-Star team in check. Only gave up 2 runs. Lucas Duda actually got the inning started with a ringing double to left center.
It's Duda's first hit of the series in limited playing time.
Again, getting back to the Mets, excited for the 2015 season, getting Matt Harvey back, great young pitching staff, the addition of Kadire, a healthy David Wright. Curtis Granderson's got to be better. Just lengthens that lineup in a tough NL East where Washington's going to be obviously a preseason favorite. Miami.
John Hart has been busy with
John
Braves.
Hart's busy.
My goodness.
Jeffrey Loria has been busy, giving 12 years and $325 million to Giancarlo Stanton yesterday.
This is one of the right side as Gingy takes it himself, and there are 2 away here in the top of the 4th.
Can you say that number again real quick?
$325 million. Where do I sign? I think the only question, it seems like every team in that division is getting better, or at least on the uptick. The one real question mark is the Philadelphia Phillies, and it seems like their entire offseason and maybe their near future all hinges around Cole Hamels and what they do with Cole Hamels.
Yeah, it really does, and they're going to have to wait if they're going to move him. He's the one piece on that team that could really bring back whatever they would need as far as prospects, major league ready talent, but they're going to have to wait to see where Scherzer signs, Lester signs, James Shields, before teams are willing to give up a huge package.
Escobar toward left center field, and it gets down for his 2nd hit of the ball game. A 2-out single here in the top of the 4th.
The thing that's nice about Cole Hamels is you know what you're getting. You're getting a frontline starter. Arguably could be the best out of those 3 free agents I named. He could go right to the top of that board. 4 years, $96 million left on his deal. So you know what you're paying. An average of around $24 million for the next 4 years to get a #1 starter. Do you give up the prospects and pick up a Cole Hamels, or do you give the extra 2 years to a guy like John Lester or Max Scherzer and just sign the free agent? especially with John Lester with no compensation pick attached, being that he was traded in the middle of the season to the Oakland A's. And right there you see Jose Altuve throwing out his second bullet to right field. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI.
I mean, how many times is Jose Altuve going to have a multi-hit game?
69 this year for the Houston Astros. I think you said earlier in game 1 or 2, 10 more than the closest competitor.
Yeah. And he was up in the 9th inning in the no-hitter, the combined no-hitter, and struck out. And I said it yesterday. I said I thought that was the major leaguer's chance to break up the no-hitter, but unfortunately for the Major League All-Stars, he struck out. And the rest, as they say, is history. But now Ohtani, after a couple of quick outs on a couple of ground balls to the right side, back-to-back singles. Escobar on at third. He went first to third on the hit for Altuve, and now Yasiel Puig steps in with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. First pitch swinging at the fastball, and it's 0-1.
Ohtani's got to be careful right here. Yasiel Puig is seeing the ball good. Game 4, he threw out 3 hits. Took an 0-0 curveball his last at bat against Ohtani and hit a missile to left field. Looks like Shima wants a fastball away right here.
Up and in. And he's been up and in quite a bit. It seems like that's where he's missing on that fastball, and unfortunately for the major leaguers, he did that to a right-handed hitter. Altuve upstairs just missed his knuckles, missed inside to Evan Longoria and hit him on the wrist, and then that one right up in the kitchen of Yasiel Puig. Took a little off there. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
See right there, split finger grip, that fumbling action down and into the right-handed hitter, getting Puig to swing right over the top.
And it's just a difficult pitch arsenal to pick up if you're a hitter, because we've seen that big breaking ball, that big curveball that he's got too, to really change up the eye level. And now over the top of that as Puig strikes out. 7th strikeout to this point for Ohtani. But Samurai Japan trails 2-0.